سلام میکنم خدمت دوستان عزیز در گروه تکنولوژی آموزشی. اینجا قسمتی هست که پروگرام ما هست Instructional Design در دانشگاه ایالتی فلوریدا و بنا درخواست بعضی از دوستان اینجا با دکتر کلاین در مورد سوالی که در گروه مطرح شد صحبت میکنیم. این هم دیوار معرفی هست که اسامی مختلفی از اساتید گذشته در دانشگاه هست و این هم کتاب‌های درسی که تا الان توسط این هیئت علمی چاپ شده.
Hello everyone, I'm with Dr. Klein, and I first want him to introduce himself. Then I will ask a couple of questions and he will be answering those questions so you guys can have a good grasp of what your problems and questions were regarding the definition of our field. So Dr. Klein,
Thank you,
happy to be with you.
Happy to be here, thank you. So I'm Jim Klein, and I am the Walter Dick Professor of Instructional Systems Design at Florida State University. I'm also a Professor Emeritus of Arizona State University from the Instructional Systems and Technology program there.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your time. During the AECT 2016 in Las Vegas, a group came up with a new definition for our field, instructional design or educational technology field. And I remember in one class, in Trends and Issues class that I took with you, we talked about why do we need to define our field. So let's start with that question. Why do we need to define any fields?
Sure. I think it's important for us to be able to articulate to people what we are, what we do, how we go about doing what we're doing. So if a client approaches me with a particular learning or performance problem, I can explain to her or him that these are the things that someone with a degree in our field can do to assist them to address that particular learning or performance problem. So being able to articulate what we do is critical for a profession, especially one now. We're no longer a new profession, we've been around at least since 1970, perhaps a little farther back. But in terms of instructional design, instructional technology, that term, the late 1960s, early 1970s. So I know one of the things that you're interested in is why I think it's time for us to stop redefining ourselves is because I think a mature profession, for an example, if I were to ask you what is medicine, I think you could give me a pretty good answer. If I were to ask you what is architecture, I think you could give me a pretty good answer. And those are very mature fields. Even though medicine and architecture and other fields of study have been around much longer than us, I think we are mature enough now to be able to know what we are rather than the continual change of that definition.
So I think you implied that no one is going to define medicine anymore because it's already
right. We know
defined.
what medicine is. Now, what the evolution of medicine, clearly, there are new tools and there are new processes that one follows in medicine, but medicine is medicine is medicine.
I know.
Architecture is architecture is architecture. Now, again, the way they approach doing architecture, the tools they use, may differ because of where they are today in this year 2016. But I don't think the basic premise of what architecture is has changed. And so I think that our field has underlying premises and that we should, rather than always saying, well, how do we tell people what we are? We've done that already. We've defined it. Let's stick with that.
With it.
Yeah.
Very good. So to just end this interview, short interview, I would like to ask you, what is the definition of our field?
Sure.
In your opinion?
So first of all, I think you have to talk about, these ideas from me because you took these classes with me. But the first thing is, what is the term? And when we were at AECT, they were trying to define the term educational technology. And as you know, some programs call themselves education technology, some programs call themselves instructional technology. Here at Florida State, we call ourselves instructional systems and learning technologies. So I want to begin with the idea that I believe that we are in the field of instructional design and technology. That's the words that I like to use to describe that. So if we're going to do that, we have to think about what those different terms mean. And I go back all the way to what the ancient Greeks said about technology. Technology is not the computer. Technology is not hardware. To me, technology is the processes and tools to help humankind. Now, one could argue that the atomic bomb didn't help humankind, but it was a technology. So if we take that premise of what technology is, and we call ourselves instructional design and technology, my definition is that instructional design and technology is the study and practice of systematically addressing learning and performance problems using effective processes and tools. So we have the part of systematic, which is instructional design. We have the processes and tools, which is technology. And as you know, one of the things I'm fond of telling my students is if you're not interested in facilitating learning and improving performance, then you're in the wrong field. So I think that definition captures all of those notions of addressing performance gaps, learning problems, technology, and the systems approach. We could add, the ADDIE in there, analysis, design, development, but I think capturing it by saying following a systems approach. So again, ISD is the study and practice of systematically addressing learning and performance problems using effective processes and tools.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.